All
And
right, go ahead and talk about this, man, because I know that you want to let out the steam of it, because I know you really are upset about this issue, about
okay,
what they did to this game.
okay. Today we're just talking about Fire Emblem set. We're talking about Tokyo
To,
Mirage Session Sharp FE. It was
AKA
it
Fire,
was
which was just another acronym for Fire Emblem, which they kind of
which they it was just basically we're talking Shin Megami Tensei with Fire Emblem characters.
yeah, because I know
Huh?
that yeah, because I know that you're very upset about this because this was the game that basically focused, because one person pointed out in censored gaming that you're upset about is that they censored out the idol culture.
Yeah. In the game, they basically just censored out every sense of cleavage, every sense of showing skin, and as well, the funny thing about this is, even though they censored out some of the skin and such in some part of the games,
Hmm.
they left it in the battle system. You're literally talking just censoring out some parts of the game, while in the battle system you're going to leave things as is. I don't really get this. I mean,
I
as
can
well as well.
understand
Uh,
because
for me,
you
this
have
this
to
just
understand. You have to understand, Nintendo's always been a family-oriented company, and they tend to do this stuff a lot. But sometimes they I'm surprised they let Pseudo 51 make his game.
yeah, and the fact being, as much M-rated games as they put onto their systems with blood, killing people, and
Yeah,
with
but
low
they did
scores,
it. But he did it
yeah,
in a humorous way. That's the thing. He kind of made fun of it. Kind of made fun of it. Instead of blood, it was gold coins and blood.
yeah, and as well. I mean, there's a lot of games that showed a lot more cleavage than this game ever did,
Yeah,
and yet it didn't bother them at that point.
yeah, because you have to realize Nintendo licensed this game, and
And
I
and
guess
all
they had to I guess they had to license this just to make, because it was like I think it was like a crossover.
yeah, but more than not, it's mainly Atlas's game. And well, let's just get into the meat of it. Throughout the game, the base game is just based on idol culture, cuteness. I mean, it's idol culture as a whole, and Nintendo messed with it heavily in this game. Beyond, they censored mostly just cleavage on characters, basically just covering up skin, where on like midsection between the breasts and such. They removed all semblances of swimsuits as well.
Yeah,
This is what just
it's kind of
irks me about it.
it's kind of the reason why they did this, because it was kind of more of a I guess they kind of, because you have to think about it for a moment that it was probably Nintendo Treehouse, or it was a big decision by Nintendo itself to make sure it'd be
Yeah,
family friendly to the masses, because this is the type of thing that they had to do, especially when you showed me the video by Censorship Gaming that was done by back in July. This is not old, this is old news, and I know that right now I actually have I played like Senran Kagura game, and that was also censored, but it was actually fun, and I really did enjoy the game.
yeah. And Sinran Kagura was not censored as heavily.
It was a little bit. It was.
It was a
Uh,
little bit censored, but they left a lot of the nude content in because
yeah,
they
and some of it was just hilariously funny, and I didn't.
yeah.
I was just like reading through it, going like, "What the hell?" I was just. It was like, even though it wasn't like the best game ever made, but it was fun, and I kind of enjoyed the jokes, because they were just so freaking just so
Yeah,
freaking hilarious, and it was sad that they had to do this with certain games. And like just leave it in, have fun, just don't try to
yeah.
go.
I
You
mean,
know.
okay, I was playing through Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE at first. I started noticing things looking rather odd.
hmm
I mean, a lot of the outfits didn't look right. I'm questioning myself. Why did they make them like this?
I,
I mean, and
I
I was
kind of
and I
agree
was
with
like,
you. I kind of
huh?
agree with you on this issue because it's like I was like listening to somebody about Japanese fashion and everything, and they have like a very big standard on Japanese fashion,
Hmm.
and it's kind of weird how they some of them do revealing outfits, some of them do normal outfits, like
Hmm.
normal casual outfits, like they usually do, and it's kind of weird how people look
And
look
as
at
a
look at it
yeah,
differently and don't realize what Japanese kids are into these days with their fashion sense. And even though it's maybe revealing to some, but it's normal in Japan.
yeah, and the fact is, I mean, I'm a person who grew up not really playing Mario, not playing Zelda. I played a lot of more mature things that I just got used to playing this, and I realized this. I mean, even at a younger age, I knew that censorship was not a good thing.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, playing this and noticing how the outfits didn't look right.
mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed the game is gets got more and more awesome as it went along.
Did you hear about what Mary Sue wrote an article about the Moe culture?
Yes, I did, and I read it, and honestly,
It wasn't a really good argument that they made. They basically just said that the characters are over sexualized and everything. And it's like, um, not really. They're considered like the cute factor characters. They just
and that's what idol culture is all about: looking cute and performing.
yeah, and I know that a lot of people don't realize this. That I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can show everybody about the outfits that Japanese culture has that they consider. Go ahead and get the
Yeah,
video
I know.
capture.
I know we're kind of going into other things right now but this all relates to what we're talking about here.
Yeah, because see if I can go into model. So I'm gonna go ahead and show it to the public what Japanese culture is with their kids and what they
Mhm.
what they wear because it's kind of weird how they dress up.
Standards between both countries are very different.
Yeah, and they have this fashion sense that's kind of weird. It's like they kind of if I could find it. Let me go ahead and get into monitor capture. Let's see. Um, this is what Japanese fashion is. This is kind of what they dress up as. Like they you can see the cuteness factor in some of these outfits that Japanese kids wear. These are little kids,
Yeah,
and I would show it to you, but it's like I'm just showing this as an example. Yes, this is like a 13-year-old girl dressing up like that. That is the common fashion sense that Japanese kids wear. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Look, this is what little girls dress up. Japan as in fashion. Like some of them can be stuck in the 80s or 90s, but that's what they wear. And it's like
yeah,
I'm showing like this is like the baby outfits. This is the common thing that Japanese kids wear. You
and
can
the
see
whole thing is like maturity isn't introduced at a young age
yeah,
in
and
Japan.
they can be very mature kids.
And this brings me to the one thing that this game pissed me off about.
Yeah, and it's
It relates to two things: swimsuits and hot springs. For Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE, they did not localize an entire DLC because it featured both swimsuits and a hot spring. The point being here is, who is not going to see a freaking woman in a bathing suit? Who? Ah, literally, no one has never seen a woman in a bathing suit. So why is this a big problem?
And let's put it this way. Let's see what pop singer sang in a bathing suit before.
Yeah, no kidding. You're literally taking a common piece of commonplace culture and censoring it completely.
Let's see.
That goes for one of the chapters as well. There was one chapter that was based over a photo shoot, and one character was a grab your idol.
Well, I do know that Nicki Minaj did sing in a bathing suit.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean the whole grab your idol thing. Yes, grab your idols are meant to more arouse a person. But you're talking about a teen-rated game here. No teenager is never going to be exposed to some sort of sex.
Yeah, and it's not like you know your kid's gonna be seeing it happen, but it'll happen no matter what. Like,
I mean, literally, you're also talking also a game that just shows skin, not anything erotic.
yep.
Every
Yeah,
piece of
even
censorship in the game was completely arbitrary.
even when there was like wardrobe malfunctions, those things happen.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so ridiculous how people react to the situation, and I don't blame anybody. And it's kind of sad that a lot of people got upset about um, certain things in the game, especially in this game. They don't. A lot of people don't understand the cultural issues that even if people are like, because it's totally different in the U.S. in the West, and this is Japan. This is Japan as it is.
And to me, the U.S. is overly conservative about sex because they rather remain on a child's level of sex more than being mature about it.
Yeah.
In my own opinion, they pander to the ones who'd rather not be mature about things.
Yeah, because I had to look up who would sing in a bathing suit. Um, let's see if I know. Mickey did sing in a bathing suit, but it wasn't really that revealing.
And the funny thing is, look at culture these days. Look how many revealing outfits you see in public. Even in the U.S., people dress revealing, like like shorts that go up to the top of their thighs. A lot of midriff showing. You see that so much in public these days,
Yep.
yet it's censored out of video games. What sense is there in that? It has no sense. You're censoring mostly what is commonplace in culture. I mean, there is also another thing that was censored in the game. One of the costumes for Tsubasa is a wedding dress sort of costume that showed a lot of skin on the outer cleavage. What was censored out was just that part. They recolored every bit of skin white, like the dress, to block that out. It does not look right.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird how they don't really I don't think they really like J fashion that much because I kind of see why they were kind of uncomfortable with it because they think that these are a bunch of kids and I can understand why they did this because the story is basically evolves around young.
Kids being pulled into this interdimensional war between humans and mirages, and people trying to steal and the mirage is trying to steal creative energy from people for their own personal needs.
Yeah, and it's kind of the weird story of it's kind of a weird universe of a strange fiction, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, I was so enthralled in this game at first. I loved every bit of it. the story, the characters, how the battles went, how your attacks chain between your attacks and your partner's attacks.
Hmm.
Yeah, it lacked an autosave and such, and I had to replay a lot of stuff, which was very annoying.
And you couldn't, and you had to go to an area just to save it, right?
Yeah, no, you can just go into the system menu and save.
Okay.
But it still remains as the fact what Nintendo Treehouse is basically doing is you're censoring out everything everything in common culture. Like showing skin, people have been doing that for ages. Like why do they want to vilify the human body?
I think a lot of people are kind of, I don't know, they may be upset about this game. They may probably didn't feel that the game wasn't really suited for anybody.
Yet they rated it a teen rating, not an E rating.
Yeah.
They
I,
and the one of the dumbest censorship things they did was okay. After chapter one, you get to see the girl Tsubasa becomes an idol.
mhm.
Her song "Feel." She is in a costume where they did cover up her chest a lot,
Mhm.
but down below, where a woman's pelvic lines would be, yes, they took that out for some strange, odd reason. They literally airbrushed out Subasa's pelvic lines because I have no idea. They're pulling the stupidest moves in censorship. Like
Okay.
literally, a lot of the costumes, not even that much cleavage is showing, yet they still take it out. I don't get this. When has the human body ever been a disgusting thing?
It probably never was.
It never was. And yeah, a girl wants to flaunt their body in an outfit. Let them. It's like this. It's like me. It's like people in cosplay. People do revealing costumes for cons, yet they're not told to cover up. They're not told to.
Um,
They're not told to
it
censor
it it,
themselves.
de- it depends. In conventions, it's totally different because I had to tell a lot of girls to cover up or go to your hotel room and change.
But this brings me to one of my favorite YouTubers, Alpha Omega Sin.
Hmm.
He was there was a cosplay. One woman was
I'm
cosplaying,
familiar with her. She's a nice
one
person.
woman was cosplaying Cammy from Street Fighter.
Yeah, and
This
this was
for
at a
this
Florida convention.
yeah, she was told to cover up her bottom half just because some people got offended.
And I think I know who the name it is.
Yeah. And
I think
she is a well-known cosplayer.
yeah, she's a very nice person. I remembered she cosplayed a very good Slayer's character that I really liked, and I remembered watching it the movie of it.
And personally, this is if you're going to censor games, you're basically telling people that the human body is a disgusting.
Nah, don't think it is.
That's just my opinion of it. You're bait, and it also to me it hurts the creator in the end.
Because she went to
Yes,
Florida and
but
well,
in
you have
games,
to understand. This is a complaint about. From what I understand from the situation, the hotel had a
yeah.
issue with her outfit, and the convention did nicely try to tell her, please, we need you to understand that the convention is
Actually, that's misinformation.
already.
The whole the Cammy thing where she had to cover her bottom half
Hmm.
was all due to one person's complaint.
Yeah, and that one person's complaint to the convention was probably they probably complained to the hotel staff, and then tell the convention owner to please have this lady
Rough.
uh,
And
cover up or
yeah, and the funny thing is, this yeah this cosplay only revealed her legs.
yeah. There's a lot of cami costumes I've seen before that do tend to do that, but it's not a big deal. I don't really have a problem with it, but some people do.
And this is just one more. This is just more reason where games can bleed into real life. This is, in my opinion, you're telling people to censor themselves if you're telling them to censor in games. That's just my personal opinion. Because what people create cannot be censored, and that's my own thoughts. It's just a purely frustrating deal to see how two relating situations can become something so stupid. Yes, my words are not concise. I am just I'm recovering from a gigantic rage spell that this just set me off. Because I bought this game. I played over 19 hours worth of it. To hear how badly this game was censored, I feel like I wasted my money. I feel like I got cheated out of what this experience was supposed to be.
Yeah, and I understand how you feel about it, man. It's just that you had to get upset about this.
Yeah, and if people don't start getting upset about these things, censorship will start going too far, in my own opinion.
Right now, everyone's. I'm just reading on Twitter right now because a lot of people are kind of
And
becoming.
and the biggest and this and what makes it even worse is like this being Atlas's game, this being their Shin Megami Tensei
Hmm.
game, even though it was crossed with Fire Emblem, it was still their game. Nintendo had instructed them, Atlas, to not be allowed to talk about the localization. Not allowed. This is their game, and Nintendo is not allowing them to talk about their game.
Yep.
That is not how things are supposed to work.
That is true.
We're allowed to be informed about a localization of a game, and for Nintendo being the only one allowed to talk about it does not seem right. You're between the arbitrary censorship, disallowing them to talk about their own game, and all this happening. I feel that censorship is just going to get worse from here.
It's probably will. It's just we pissed off. We had to remove. There was a lot of things that I heard about, especially the situation with a certain PR person. Um,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people got upset with this person, and it said that she lost her job, but after some crazy shit drama that happened on the internet with her over the whole pedophilia thing, it kind of pissed off a lot of people. The way she tried to talk about these, she addressed it kind of a little bit off, and they had a chance to defend herself on the situation. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but unfortunately, a lot of people read her little her issue about what would be uh, this is kind of weird though, and it was a really bad internet drama that happened, and it was kind of
Yeah.
stupid, and I felt bad, but at the same time, she put herself in that position. She basically,
Yeah.
pissed off some people left and right, and got to the point where they
Yeah.
kind
It
of
was. Yeah.
they it turns out that they kind of did some digging into her and found out that she was a prostitute.
And really, I don't see any problem in that. Yes, you hired a prostitute. So what? She's working for you and doing good work.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, and the thing is, and this is another thing. Like, if you're hiring someone who was involved in a past misdeed, prostitution, so the fuck what?
Yeah, and it wasn't really. It's just that they found out because apparently, she wasn't paid that much, so she had to go and do that instead.
Hmm.
I don't hate the sex worker thing. It's just that some people are like
Yeah, and
creeped
for
out
me,
about
like, and a lot of games. Look at a lot of games these days.
it. Mhm.
Sex sells.
Mhm. And right now, Nintendo's losing the
Loads of money.
losing
Over.
money because of this because there's been a lot of stuff going on, and I know that Nintendo's been trying to make
And
make a bunch of
and
games.
hmm and this goes there for this, and this also goes for Bravely Second. As much as the costumes were censored in there for other arbitrary reasons,
Yeah,
they,
and
both Bravely Second and Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE have fallen victim to the same thing: arbitrary censorship that should not have been happened. That should have not happened.
true. And the thing is, what are they? I know Nintendo's been having the biggest problem with selling the Wii U, and they had tried their best to put out like simple games,
Hmm.
and they couldn't really attract people to buying that system because especially when they had let me see if I can look it up because I know that the
I
what are
mean,
the
yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, if you're going to censor things in an improper way, that is a big way to lose your customer base.
yeah. And I'm looking at it based on what they did right here because
Yeah.
according to this, their system's at 13.3 million according to the hardware sales thing on PG charts. It may not be accurate, but it's accurate enough to tell you what they do.
Yeah. And even this makes me want to say screw Nintendo. Screw them, and I'm going to go to other systems. I'm going to stay to my PS4 and PS3, my Xbox One, and my PC.
Yep. Let's
And
see.
since their games are not hit so hard with censorship, like Nintendo seems to want to do with their own games.
Let's see. But their only game that's been top selling is their 3DS games.
And yeah, because half of their 3DS games are not even close to heavily censored like their Wii U games.
Yeah. It's like they got Pokemon Ruby, Pokemon Alpha, Sapphire, Yokai Watch 1 and 2, and I know that they have Pokemon Y and X. That's like the biggest thing that that's like their biggest sales right there.
Oh, also taking to their Nintendo, also taking to the property the Shantae games.
Yeah.
Look how revealing her outfit is.
Yeah, and I noticed that.
That is not even censored.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that it's widely popular. Like in Japan right now, the 3DS games are more popular. In
Yeah.
Europe, it's mostly PlayStation 4 games. In the U.S., it's PlayStation 4, which is the top selling, but second is Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Globally, the biggest sales is basically No Man's Sky, which is the top selling one. Even though the PC
And
version,
which in itself has which lost 90% of its customer base within a week.
yeah, which kind of made people upset because they kind of messed around with it and didn't know what the hell they were doing with this system,
Yeah, exactly. And
especially on PC.
I mean, between that and the way Japanese games are getting hit, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. Uh, Nintendo's losing loads and loads of money.
Yeah,
They're making the biggest mistakes you can ever make
yeah,
in the gaming business.
yeah. Even when people wanted a Minecraft Wii U edition,
Hmm.
It's only being sold in Japan. That's the sad part.
Actually, no, the Wii U edition is being sold here in the U.S.
Yeah, it's being sold here in the U.S., but the sad part is, even when they announced it, not many people are buying it. That's the weird part.
Yeah, because the PS4 and Xbox One and PC edition
Has
are
has
essentially.
has the has that version of it, and yeah, it's like what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like they kind of lost their market because a lot of people were like, hey, you guys have a Wii U system that could possibly work with the Minecraft because you can easily access all this stuff that we can use on the little thing. And it was like, Nintendo kind of was like, no, we can't do that. Like they,
Yeah,
they they have a lot of creativity. They have a lot of potential with that system, but the biggest issue was it just lacked a lot of things. It lacked.
and I mean,
It
yeah, it
lacked.
has a lot of potential, but they waste it doing the wrong things.
Yeah, because they couldn't. They kind of didn't want to spend the money on it. They were too
Yeah,
cheap on it, and I could understand. It's like they don't want to risk. They don't want to risk that much or pay that much for it. It's kind of the biggest issue because they don't want to take a risk because they might lose money for it because it's kind of their they know from experience.
at the same time, all their censorship is hitting them worse.
Yeah.
The
And
whole thing is them stripping games down to nearly watered down E-rated games that should be rated MRT.
yep,
They're stripping fun from games.
yep, and that's the truth. Right
I
now,
mean, to literally strip out the Hot Springs DLC just because it has boobs and swimsuits.
and the funny thing right now is that Nintendo is
Failing
it,
hard.
yeah, but hopefully their newer system when it comes out next year, as they claim that
I'm skeptical that NX will actually be will be successful just because we don't know what it's going to be. We're not going to go. We don't know what it looks like. They're giving us the runaround. They're basically
they're
doing the same thing that what they did with the
well,
Wii U.
well, I know that there's rumors going around that they say that it's going to be a handheld system be a that can be docked to a TV.
Again, I have my doubts.
It's possible because you know how Nintendo is with that whole idea of making a handheld system and make it and then docking it to a TV. Imagine that.
It's a more advanced. It's just a more advanced Wii U.
Yeah, it's more advanced Wii U, but you can still play with your controller. And it's kind of like a talking game.
Again, it does go toward the same thing.
Yeah,
Even if the NX is successful, any games that are any good for come out with it will be censored heavily.
that's true.
Censorship is what loses them money.
Hmm.
And honestly, if you want to censor the crap out of any foreign games,
Hmm.
you might as well just stick to Zelda and Mario.
Well, they already brought out a Zelda game, and they're hoping to release it to the to the to the NX
Yeah,
and Wii U, and it's like they announced. You remember they announced this?
yeah. They announced Zelda Breath of the Wild. Again, I never grew up with Zelda or Mario, so I doubt I'll ever buy those. I mean, I play a lot of more mature games. Zelda just gets boring to me,
Yep.
and so does Mario.
Did you hear that they're gonna bring out a? Because I know they announced at PAX West that they're gonna bring out another Suda 51 game, which is an old game that you might remember, Killer 7.
Oh yeah, yeah. Killer 7, Killer is Dead.
Yeah, I played
Heroes 1
Killer's
and 2.
Dead, and I know Suda 51 is like you remember it was originally on the Wii. It was originally on the Wii.
Yeah, it was.
And would it be possible because they said that they are announcing it because it was originally released both on PlayStation and Nintendo GameCube, but it'd be possible if Suda would put it on Wii U or the other new system.
Yeah, and Suda, I mean, a lot of his games are basically untouched by censors.
Yeah, I know, and yet they don't.
And
Yeah,
that's the funny thing. Again, with animated blood and gore, that wasn't censored.
yeah.
And
And this was published by Capcom.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like Goichi
yeah.
Suda made.
Okay. Also, look at this.
Hmm.
Nintendo had Mad World on the Wii.
Yeah,
That was super, super, super violent and bloody and gory. Yet they censored this. They censored Tokyo Mirage Sessions FA just for little things.
yeah.
Yet they had no control over
It's
the
the
censoring.
same. It's the same with the Fatal Frame game. They kind of the new Fatal Frame game for Wii.
Yeah, with the sexy outfits.
Yeah, and they kind of did that because it was kind of they were like, "Fuck you, people. We're just gonna do it anyway."
Yeah,
And it was like,
I don't get how Nintendo thinks. How yet are they? Can they not figure out them censoring games is losing them money? It does not seem they can
there's
figure
no
that out.
point. There's no point in paying Nintendo Treehouse to do this shit. It's like, fuck it,
And
we're
then
gonna release it as it
this is
is.
and this is why I say screw Nintendo. They're not going to do anything
But I
good with their.
understand. But I understand that Nintendo Treehouse is used to, check bugs and everything, check the quality of the game works and everything. But it's kind of sad. Whoever released the Star Fox game,
Oh my god, that thing was crappy.
yeah, and a lot of people were kind of upset about what happened to the Star Fox game. Like whoever at the Nintendo Treehouse made that decision to release it as it is,
They should be fired.
yeah,
I mean, like literally, like I cannot figure out what Nintendo is thinking.
yeah, I just
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, nothing in
Because
this world is
I thought
yeah.
Nintendo Treehouse's job is to check the make sure the quality of the game is good. And it's like they kind of when they released the new Star Fox on Wii U, Star Fox Zero, a lot of people just like, what the hell? The controls were
Yeah.
so bad. It was like they kind of didn't want to. They didn't want anyone, to play this game, and they thought it was some of it was okay. They gave you an
Some of it
option
was
to
okay.
use the Wii Pro controller or the gamepad or or the other one or the Wii remote
Mhm.
with the nunchuck, of course. They gave you that option, but it's like a lot of people complained about it. It's like there's several options you could do.
Yeah, I mean, this goes to another question. A lot of people are getting upset at your games, Nintendo. Why do you keep screwing them up? Why can't you see this also losing your
And
money?
I saw the Nintendo Treehouse version live streams, and I was like, this looks kind of fun. And then people complained about the issues with the controls and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also considering the censorship of outfits and Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE, that also brings me back to the censorship of Xenoblade Chronicles X. The way the way the outfits were censored as well as the character creation.
yeah. I think mostly Nintendo would probably avoid this because I know for a fact that they should have let um, Atlas have the freedom to make the game as they please and then put it as mature. But at the same time, they kind of
They tend to go overboard.
went overboard on it. And it's like right now, Nintendo just didn't let them do their thing. Like they
And,
let them
and,
work their
and the thing,
magic.
yeah, and the thing is, look at idol culture in the world these days. It is super, super, super popular. Screw with idol culture in a game, you're pissing off millions of people. You're pissing off. You're pissing on what makes idol culture great. The cute outfits, the cute girls. Yes, revealing outfits. That's all part of it.
Yeah, and it's not like it's gonna affect anybody. I know that there are girls that are into that type of thing. There's a lot of young girls that like the idol culture, but some of them it's kind of sad that some of them couldn't really. I want to go to Japan, but they find out the reality of it that they have to learn Japanese,
Yeah.
and
And
it's
and this actually brings me to a point. The the video I showed him, there is an uncensored patch, but you basically have to hack your Wii U just to put it in.
yep.
That is the Wii. Just to apply a patch to a game, you have to hack a system just to do it. I remember when the systems used to never be like that. Like when the whole when I
You're
I'm
tired.
just tired of this crap.
Yeah,
I'm
and I
tired of this
understand.
whole thing.
I understand. It's just that after playing this game, I'm glad I didn't buy this game because I just wasn't
I mean,
really.
I feel super 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 cheated that this game is so heavily censored, and that completely ruins the experience for me.
Yeah, right now I'm playing Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I bought it used because I don't want to give any money to Konami after what they pulled.
Yeah,
Because
and look, and this is another thing. Both Konami and Nintendo are playing bullshit.
yeah, and it's kind of sad. A lot of people respect Nintendo and like Nintendo, especially their Pokemon games and everything. I don't blame
And
them,
yeah,
and I
and
know.
and and Nintendo of America, they're not good with Japanese games because they end up screwing them up. That's the big problem.
Yeah, and I wanted to buy. I might buy Star Fox.
And I've tried
I
it myself. The controls are just awkward.
Yeah, because
I can
a
how
lot of
bad.
people complained about the controls, and I was just like, there is an option to change it once you finish that whatchamacallit session,
Yeah,
learning to
but
fly
honestly,
session,
like Nintendo sticking their nose into JRPGs, they shouldn't
or
even do it in the first place.
well, they could have let them do their thing and let them do it as it is, but instead, I can understand why they're doing this.
But they're doing it for the wrong reasons.
No, they know that children would buy this game. They know that teenagers will buy this game. And you explained to me that the whole situation with Nintendo was the rating of this game is teen for teen.
Yeah, it is.
But even if they sell it as mature, it wouldn't be easy for kids to buy because a lot of kids would buy it and ask their parents to buy this for them.
And then the funny thing, and it goes to another thing that Alpha Mega Sin says.
Mhm.
If you don't want, if this offends you, don't look at it.
Yeah, and the thing is that this is a mature. They should have put it as a mature rated game if they and left it as it is.
They should have.
But the biggest problem is that they're going to have to because I know Capcom had to do this because they want kids to play this game too, and it was kind of like they wanted the teenagers to play this game because they don't want to make kids feel left out because of the tournament scene.
Hmm.
And because when they released that new Street Fighter game, they kind of had to censor out the outfits because, well, because the rating system.
I mean, again, this goes back to a point I made. I previously made. Censorship is a bad thing because the human body is not a nasty thing. No kid, like no. Your kid's going to see some bitch in a swimsuit. Your kid is going to see some woman in a swimsuit, no matter what
Yeah,
their age.
yeah. No matter what your age, if you're going to a beach, you're gonna see it. If you're going to a swimming pool, you're gonna see it. If you're going to a park, you're gonna see it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna
That's the thing. Like this whole thing was over swimsuits and cleavage.
yeah. If it's on TV, you're gonna see it. If you
Exactly.
yeah.
And
So
this and they in this game, they censored the most common part of society, swimsuits. They took out an entire DLC because of boobs and swimsuits. Oh my god.
yeah, I think Nintendo needs to just
Chill out.
no. I think Nintendo needs to understand that that their market is limited to why people don't buy their system because they just
Yeah, I mean,
I don't blame them,
they're only
but a lot of
cursing
but the
themselves.
funny thing is their 3DS is more popular because they have a lot more games on it. They have a lot more
Yeah,
to offer than just that.
yeah, exactly. This is. I mean, even with the popularity of the 3DS, they're losing loads and loads of money.
Yeah, because because that system is really costing them a lot of money, and it's sad that they can't really sell a lot. It's like up to 13.5 million according to VG charts. And they're not even trying, hard enough to actually, market the system.
And
They're
this is why I see the NX will not be successful. If this system's not selling well, they're not going to have enough to pay for the finishing of the NX and by
well,
promise next year.
that's if their game one of their games is a hit because it's not like it's easy enough for people to, get into it. Because
Yeah.
Nintendo right now, is focusing on right now because you heard about their new announcement of Nintendo Super Mario Run, right?
No, I actually haven't.
It's like a mobile game for iPhone and iPad that's coming out
Ugh,
December.
yuck.
Well, it's kind of like Super Mario Brothers, but it's like 3D.
Mm. Again, them going in the mobile business is just going is does I spell
Well,
doom.
they kind of did a partnership with a company that would help them.
Oh, you already got Temple Run. You already got all these run games. Yada yada yada. They're just cloning what everyone else did.
Well, they are, but they're trying to they're trying to test. This is probably a testing ground for their new for iPhone for the mobile market because I know Nintendo right now is trying to branch a little bit off on the mobile side of the market. 'Cause I know that Nintendo wants to attract people into playing their games.
Again, that all leads to what they stick their nose into.
Yeah,
If that's not successful, Nintendo's going to lose loads, millions even.
yep.
You're talking a company who constantly curses themselves by calling them a family-friendly company when they really aren't.
Yep. Well, and hopefully Nintendo will get their chance to do whatever it takes to succeed. Because right now a lot of people are waiting for a bunch of games to come out for their system.
Yeah. And I hope the whole thing with Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE does not happen again.
Yep.
Because this is, and yeah, old news, yes, but
Yeah.
I needed to mention it myself because I want to put my own voice out there just to say that this is not right for Nintendo to do to us. We do not want our games censored.
Yeah,
Stop.
because I understand that they wanted to attract kids to buy this game, and it's like the kids are not going to buy this because
Also, look at the other Fire Emblem games. There are no way kids games.
yeah, no, and yet they kind of had to censor it because they didn't want, because I understand by the laws and everything, according from what I heard, they don't want these in adult situations.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what I have to say for you, Nintendo. Good job on fucking up.
Anyways, guys, we're gonna go ahead and leave this with our thoughts on this and
Yeah.
say
And by
goodbye.
the way, if you guys want to watch the video about what I just talked about, it'll be in the description. He'll explain it every much much more detail than I did.
Yeah, because even though this is old news, it's very
It's
very
still a persisting problem.
because I let because he came to me and told me what was going on, and he was very upset, and I understood why. And this was like months ago. This was like several months ago, and I decided to, well, go ahead and let it out, man.
Yeah. And like I said, censorship even today is still a big problem.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so either way, if you want to buy Tokyo Mirage Session Fire Emblem game as is, go ahead and buy it.
Go ahead and buy it.
We're not saying it's bad or anything like that. As for me, I
Oh,
choose
it's
not to
amazing.
buy it. I
But beyond the censorship, the game is really, really good.
yeah
And I rated 10 out of 10 just for what it is,
yeah
besides the censorship.
yeah. And it's like I don't want to say, hey, don't buy this game because it's censored and all this other stuff. I'm telling people, make a decision for yourself. If you want to buy this game for yourself. Um, if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. It's
And
simple as that.
apart from the censorship, if you just want a unique experience with the dumb censorship, get it.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, thank you very much, and goodbye.
See ya.